Welcome back, guys. It is episode two. Episode two. I want to, in this video, kind of talk about what are we going to be doing different. When I talk in these videos, as I progress on my journey with YouTube, a lot of this is, even though I'm talking to somebody, I'm really talking to myself. So when I'm saying, what are we going to change? I'm saying, what am I going to change? What are going to be some things that I want to do differently when it comes to not just the new year? Because, when it comes to the new year, people always say January 1st is a fresh start. That's true. That's true, right? But we don't have to wait to January 1st to say we're going to start something new. You could start new on a random Thursday at 3:57. It doesn't matter. You have the free will to do really pretty much anything you want when it comes to you want to make a change and you want to do something different. There's no rules really to it. If you want to say, "Hey, I no longer want to be in this type of predicament," change it. Change your surroundings, change your environment. You are in charge of what you allow and what you allow, around you. So the title of this video and the main subject of this video is, what are you going to change? So what am I going to change? And I got my notes right here. There's like three main things that I really want to kind of talk about and focus on just for this video. Now, in the future, I might go into more depth about these three items. But for right now, just kind of touching base on these three things that came to mind for me. So the first thing, mindset. You as a human, me as a human, us all as human beings, we are ever evolving. If you don't move, you become stagnant, right? And stagnant becomes it's kind of seen as like being dead. Like you're not moving, you're not making any motion, you're not moving. Motion brings life, right? So if you're stagnant, you're not growing. You're not going anywhere. You can't feed yourself. You can't do anything for yourself if you are not moving or in constant motion and trying to get from one place to another place. So your mindset has to change. If you have I want to make $10,000 a month. You're not currently making $10,000 a month. That means you have to do some things differently in order to reach that goal and kind of bridge the gap between you making maybe $6,000 a month and increasing it to $10,000 a month. So what are you going to be doing different in the meantime? I heard this saying where people, you go to the grave sites. A lot of times there's two dates, right, on the tomb. Well, there are two dates on the tomb, right? And they say the dates are really not what's really important. It's the dash between. Now, it might not look significant, but that is life. The dash is life. What did you do in between that time? Because when you're born, you're born. When you pass away and you move on to the next realm, you're there. What did you do while you were here? What did you do while you were here? And a lot of times what you do here is, if you have family, if you have legacy and things that come after you, you have children, or not even just children, you have, you have a business and you leave that business. What are you leaving to, if you do have children, to your family, to your heirs, to people that work under you? What type of life did you live? What type of legacy did you live? Is it going to continue after you're gone? And that really a lot of times depends on what you did in the meantime, in the dash time, right? So the in-between time is very, very, very important. So if you have some goals and you have some things that you want to change, the first step in changing that is changing your mindset. And sometimes for me, I will say, and I will talk about this in another video, I've been so much, especially 2025, I've been in such a year of isolation. Like, isolation so much in my own thoughts and trying to change my mindset and growing my goals and things that I want to reach. And that has come with me sitting alone with myself and putting down on paper what kind of goals and things that I want to accomplish. So you have to do this. Sometimes you have to sit still. Sometimes you have to sit still and you have to quiet your mind and quiet the surroundings. Maybe you cannot go out with your friends because that's a distraction, or whatever it might be. For me, I don't smoke or drink or anything like that. But if you have you have issues with that type of thing, maybe you need to do it less, or maybe you need to stop putting yourself in an environment, because maybe it's taking up a lot of your time. And it's nothing against, drinking or anything, but sometimes for me, it just is what it is. So, sometimes you have to quiet your mind and you have to reel back a little bit about like, okay, I do want to change these things. So next step is changing it. And that begins with your mindset. So my mindset, I have some big goals that I'm trying to reach. And I'm hopeful. I'm seeing already some fruits of my labor, and things that I've kind of changed within just really when I say the last 2 weeks, I've seen growth in things that I'm like, wow, I really can do this. And we're going to see how far it goes. So yeah. Okay, so the next thing is goals, right? So I just kind of touched on that. When you change your mindset, your goals and things like that, what kind of goals are you setting, right? Make sure your goals are reachable. I'm not saying that something isn't it's out of touch, but you have to be a little realistic with yourself, right? If you're 37 and you've never picked up a basketball, you're not making it to the NBA. Some things just are not going to happen. That's not going to happen because that's something that's unrealistic. That's something that you obviously have not been working on. That's not a craft of yours. That's not a passion of yours, because there's no way at 38 that's the first time you picked up a basketball and you decided in your mind, I'm going to go and try for an NBA team. I'm quite sure there's no NBA team that's going to let you even come to trials if you're 38. That's not going to happen. So you have to be realistic. If you're saying, hey, I'm somebody who I feel like I give out good advice, start talking to people, start making videos. Look, I'm making videos, right? Sometimes I feel like I have good advice, so might as well share some of the things that I think, because there might be other people who think like me, right? Or they just need that extra, like, I needed that motivation, right? So do that. Record yourself, post it. You never know who you might reach. Other things, it's not so much of, I don't want to extend or be overzealous, right? With anything. I will say this. Sometimes things seem unreachable because you might not be around people who have reached that goal. So you might have to change your environment. If you're somebody who you want to really get into fitness and you're around people who do not work out, maybe you need to start going to different workout groups. Go join a run club, or, join a Pilates class or something. Being around those type of people who actually take their fitness and health serious will change your mindset, and it's going to turn it into something more positive, rather than, oh my God, I'm surrounded around people that don't take health serious, so I feel like I'm gonna look stupid if I'm talking to them. It's not that you're talking crazy. You're just maybe talking to the wrong people. So sometimes you do have to take yourself out of certain environments, and you have to elevate yourself to other environments, right? I heard somebody say, I don't know where I heard this from, but they was like, you're not supposed to be the smartest person in the room. You're supposed to surround yourself around people who you can learn something from. So think about that. If you're surrounded by people who they okay with making minimum wage, they don't go on vacations, they've never been outside their home city, they okay with it. But if you're somebody who wants to travel, you want to move outside of your home city, you want to explore the world, because the world is a big place. It's more than just your city. So, I've been born and raised in Houston, but I've been all over. I've been different places, but I have family members who've never been outside of the city of Houston. The furthest may be San Antonio. Maybe, and I don't really count Louisiana because a lot of times you're from Texas, your family's from Louisiana, but other than that, they don't no passport, never been on a flight. And they're okay with that. They are okay with that. And sometimes I think about that, like, wow, these people, they don't even know how different it is outside of this. So you have to, it's not that, like I said, it's not that you're surrounded, you're in the wrong environment or anything. Well, it is that you are in the wrong environment. Let me take that back. It's not that you're thinking wrong. You might be in the wrong environment and you need to change that. And that's okay. And it's not that you're forgetting about the people or you think you're better than anybody. No, you want better for yourself. So yeah, think about it like that. I just want better for myself. And if you are somebody who, you're going to have a family, do you want your family to be well traveled? Do you want your family to be financially stable? You want it to, if your kid needs whatever amount of money for whatever activity, oh yeah, that's fine. We're going to go ahead and get that done and taken care of. We'll sign up. Or you do want to be scraping along, or you have to tell your kid, no, we can't do that. So these are some things, when it comes to goals, what kind of goals are you setting for yourself that might affect other people around you? And being realistic with said goals. Okay. All right. The last thing I want to talk about which is a big thing for me, is boundaries. You have to set some boundaries that for you, when you set these boundaries and you don't budge on them, it might be a little uncomfortable for you, especially as somebody who you don't want to hurt people's feelings. And for me, for a long time, and not for a lot of things, but for some things, like I'm like, I don't want them to feel like but sometimes you have to say to yourself, I rather I'm not uncomfortable. And I've been uncomfortable in situations and I kind of let it happen because I didn't want to offend anybody. But sometimes you sit back and you're like, well, I was offended and nobody cared. You have to put yourself first. And one of the best ways to respect yourself is setting boundaries. You have to set boundaries. You have to. And it might result in somebody saying you're mean and they don't like you anymore. And that's okay. If everybody likes you, if the liar likes you, if the thief likes you, if I don't know, the bad people like you, that's everybody. How everybody like you? You have to have some type of boundary where you're like, hey, this is my line. I draw the limit here. And if you cross this boundary, that's it. And if you have to cut contact, it's not like a guessing game. People know what they do. You know what I mean? People know what they're doing, especially if you told them. They might act like they don't know, but they know. So make sure you set boundaries. I feel like setting boundaries is one of the number one ways to show respect towards yourself. So you just got to set boundaries. So those are just, 3 things for me when it comes to what are some things that I'm going to be changing and not even gonna say the future. Now, I'm changing now. Like these are things that I'm working on right now. Setting stronger boundaries, mindset, and goals and things like that. So, if you stay to the end of this video, let me know what are some things that you plan on changing now. What are some goals that you have, boundaries you have? What are your mindsets on what kind of mindset do you have going forward in life? And like I said, I know it's December and it's Vlogmas, right? I guess this will count as a Vlogmas video. What are you doing differently? I would like to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. If you did stay this long, drop a flower. Drop a flower in the chat if you stayed in the comments, if you stayed this long. I appreciate you guys. If you could please subscribe to my channel. As you see, I'm building. I got 2 subscribers now. So I'm building and I'm looking forward to taking you all on the journey with me. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.